presidential advisor to Reagan, Ford, Clinton, and Nixon. And Bill Nojay, he's a New York State Assemblyman and co-chair of the New York State Trump for President campaign. Also, Josh Galper, a Democratic strategist and Hillary Clinton supporter. Thanks to all of you for being with me this morning. I appreciate it. Before we begin, a few facts on America's war on ISIS. 26,000 ISIS terrorists have been killed by coalition forces, and about 60% of ISIS territory in Iraq and Syria has been reclaimed. Coalition forces have conducted 12,400 airstrikes. The total cost for this, $11.8 million every single day. So far, the U.S. has spent $7.4 billion. So, Bill, you're a Trump supporter. What do you make of those numbers?
Well, what I make of it is that if it weren't for Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama's foreign policy, which was disastrous, we wouldn't have an ISIS. If you recall, in 2008, Iraq was a fledgling democracy. It was building its military. It was strengthening its borders. When they withdrew American involvement from Iraq, that's when ISIS took root and radically expanded. So we talk about ISIS and fighting ISIS. We have an ISIS because of Hillary Clinton. That foreign policy was a massive failure, and we should be talking about why we're even fighting ISIS and having to deploy these kinds of resources.
So Josh, should we be talking about that? Like why we are even fighting ISIS right now when we oughtn't be?
Well, I think actually that the war on ISIS is something that's incredibly important that we do have to focus on. And what we need is a comprehensive approach to this, which is exactly what Hillary Clinton is laying out. By contrast, all we're hearing from Donald Trump is that we need carpet bombing. We don't know what that means. We have no details. He doesn't have a plan. And, you know, I think it is that we need to look forward to with a comprehensive plan. And we just don't hear one from Donald Trump. We hear one from Hillary Clinton.
So David, is that what we're going to hear from Hillary Clinton today, a comprehensive plan? And will she focus solely on ISIS, or will she paint a bigger picture?
I think she's going to paint a bigger picture. But one of the mysteries surrounding this speech is why give a foreign policy speech practically on the eve of the California primary? You know, when there's so many, why not be out there talking about water or climate change and have Jerry Brown, the popular governor who just endorsed her, major endorsement, real breakthrough for her. Why not be out there campaigning with him today? Because that would spread good cheer and help her in the polls. Having said that, listen, she must have internal polling that says, if I get to foreign policy, that's where I'm most respected, and I can make that a base of my campaign, my rhetoric, and that sort of thing. Both candidates have problems with ISIS because, you know, we just heard the Trump people are going to argue, well, you know, we wouldn't be here if Hillary and Obama had handled this better. The Democrats are going to come back and say, we wouldn't even be in the Middle East where it had Bush not gone into Iraq. You know, those arguments are going to go on. The real question, ISIS is going to be on the agenda of the next president. We've made progress in taking back territory. We're in a major battle now. The opposition's a major battle in Iraq. But in the meantime, ISIS has morphed, and it's gone into a lot of other countries. So we have these pockets and growing pockets in places like Libya. And it means it's going to be on the desk of the next president.
Well, Bill, let me ask you something about Mr. Trump's policy when it comes to defeating ISIS, because he said he wants to bomb out of them, right? That's one of his strategies. He doesn't necessarily want to send large numbers of troops there. What exactly is Mr. Trump's plan to defeat ISIS?
Well, I think you start with the notion that when you get to tactical military decisions, ask the military men.
He said he knows more than the generals.
Well, if you listen to what the generals are saying and what the troops on the ground are saying, they oppose